Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Stephanie Haney here for 3 News. It's Wednesday, April 15th, 2020. We've just gotten the most up-to-date numbers in from the Ohio Department of Health related to the current number of COVID-19 coronavirus cases here in the state of Ohio. So we'll give you those updates. These are just in now as of 2 p.m. from the Ohio Department of Health. Currently, we now have 7,791 confirmed cases of COVID-19 coronavirus here in the state of Ohio. That is a slight uptick in the number of new cases confirmed today. Now, remember that Dr. Amy Acton has told us continuously, our director of the Ohio Department of Health, that the number of positive confirmed cases is not indicative of the total number of cases in the state, but they are the cases that we do have confirmed positive testing for. The death total is now 361. That is based on an expanded definition from the CDC to include deaths that are likely due to COVID-19 coronavirus that may not necessarily have had a positive test result before passing away. We now have 2,237 people hospitalized at this time, and of those people, there are 677 in the intensive care unit. The age range remains the same, the median age remains the same, and the split between male and females testing positive for COVID-19 coronavirus remains the same. People who have tested positive range in age from less than 1 to 101 years old, with the median age being 54 and the split being 48% male and 52% female. To give you an indication of how we stack up nationally, in the U.S., we now have almost 611,000 confirmed positive cases of COVID-19 coronavirus. These are according to CNN's latest numbers, and a total of 26,119 deaths. To compare that to the world, there are almost 2,009,000 positive cases of COVID-19 coronavirus so far, and a total of 129,045 deaths. As we know, the CDC has now recommended when we do need to go out in public for those essential activities that we have to do, that we wear a cloth mask covering our mouth and our nose. As of this afternoon, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has said that he will be ordering that to be required of all New Yorkers who have to go out in public when they're not able to maintain that physical distance of at least 6 feet apart. He is giving New Yorkers 3 days notice in order to be able to comply with the new rule. And this applies in situations like on a subway platform or in situations where you can't maintain a distance of at least 6 feet from other people. To put that in perspective, in the state of New York, another 752 people died from COVID-19 coronavirus on Tuesday. On Monday, 778 people died. So that's more people dying in a single day. That's twice more people dying in a single day on both of those days than the total number of deaths that we do have here in Ohio. Here in Ohio, there has now been a 5th inmate who has died at the Elkin State Prison. Just yesterday, a 4th inmate died due to COVID-19 coronavirus. This prisoner who died today was 71-year-old David Ale. He was serving a 197-month sentence and had been at the facility for close to 8 years. He was taken to the hospital on April 3rd and was placed on a ventilator, but his condition rapidly declined. He did have long-term pre-existing conditions. We do not currently know the total number of COVID-19 coronavirus cases at Elkton Prison. Prisons, of course, are one institution here in the state of Ohio that has been looked at closely and is continuing to be looked at closely, as the governor has recommended people for early release and has referred those cases to the local judges who had sentenced them in order to see if there are people who can be released to prevent a massive outbreak in the prison system here in the state of Ohio. Going back to masks, Metro Health is now sterilizing 50,000 masks per day. They are having used masks hung up in a sealed room that are then sterilized, and this is to help address the potential shortage of these masks and allow them to provide additional masks to their employees. That's from Metro Health President and CEO Akram Boutros, who we did talk earlier with exclusively. Our senior health correspondent, Monica Robbins, talked with Dr. Boutros about what the peak will look like here in Ohio, anticipating that we will have a much lower peak than we thought we would. But now they are able to sterilize 50,000 masks a day, so that's a positive move, certainly for the shortage of PPE equipment here in the state of Ohio. We do know that with these large-scale events not being able to take place right now, the CDC guidelines still do say that we are not to be gathering in groups of more than 10 people. So lots of concerts and events have been canceled and postponed, but we do sort of have potentially an idea of when those things might be coming back. Just yesterday, Governor Mike DeWine did say that he wasn't sure if stadiums and these kind of venues would be able to reopen this year, but people are sort of banking on that a little bit at this point. So we've got a list of places that might be rescheduling for Blossom Music Center, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, First Energy Stadium. Some of those include the Foo Fighters, who now have moved their concert date to October 3rd at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Thomas Rhett is now planning on performing at Blossom on September 10th. Maroon 5 and Meghan Trainor are also planning on stopping at Blossom on June 18th, just to name a few. So we have that full list on WKYC.com and our WKYC app if you want to check that out in case a concert or an event that you were planning on attending has been postponed, rescheduled. You can maybe get a better idea on when that might possibly be coming back. Speaking of entertainment, Cedar Point made a big announcement yesterday. They are extending their 2020 season passes through 2021. So as we know, Cedar Point was supposed to kick off its 150th anniversary season on May 9th, but that will not be happening. The park will not be reopening on May 9th. So the park has said for people who have already purchased 2020 season passes, those will be extended and valid all the way through the 2021 season. Now that includes if the park is able to reopen at any point this season. And it also includes people who may want to buy a pass today or in the future. So you can still buy a season 2020 pass if you would like, if you want to bank on the opportunity that maybe you'll get some extra use out of it if the park is able to reopen this year, which the park just doesn't know at this point, as many of us don't know when things will reopen and we'll be able to take advantage of those things again. But if you want to get a little extra for your money, you can take advantage of that right now. Also, people who are on the payment plan, the park has also announced that they will not be continuing those payments until the park reopens. So those payments are paused at this time if you are on a payment plan for your 2020 season pass. You do need to be current on your payments, though, in order to take advantage of buying the pass and extending that to the 2021 season. Other big news today, the Cleveland Browns finally unveiled their brand new uniforms, and there are subtle differences. It's a simple and back to basics trend for the new Browns uniform. So it's simplified. The Color Rush uniform that everyone loved so much is now an official uniform minus the stripes. And they have eliminated the word Cleveland from the front. It doesn't say Cleveland anymore above the numbers to make it more clean. Just the numbers. There's no outline on the numbers. It's just a simple single color for all of those numbers. And there's more emphasis on the stripes on the sleeves. Now, if you're having a hard time telling the difference, here's a key point. I was actually having this discussion with Dan in our marketing department today. If you're looking at the team shop jersey, that's going to look a little bit different than what the players will wear. So the stripes go all the way around the sleeve in the fan version of the new jersey, but it's just on the outside on the player version. So that's a key difference if you weren't maybe able to pick up on that. And overall, fans seem to be very excited about the new simpler look. We do have the breakdown for you on WKYC.com, so you can check that out. They live streamed that announcement today, so we've got that on our site and our app for you to check that out. Also, as a reminder, right now, all team proceeds, Cleveland Browns proceeds, not the part that goes to the NFL, but all of the money that would have gone to the Cleveland Browns team, for now, if you buy a new jersey, that money will go to the Hats Off to Our Heroes Fund. So this fund aids healthcare professionals, first responders, education professionals, and other groups who have been considered pivotal in the community year-round and are serving role models who have been impacted related to the COVID-19 coronavirus. That's your update here at 2 p.m. with those latest Ohio Department of Health numbers. I'll give those to you just one more time. If you are just joining us now, we currently have 7,791 confirmed positive cases of COVID-19 coronavirus here in Ohio, and a total of 361 deaths based on that expanded definition from the CDC to include deaths that are probably due to COVID-19 coronavirus, but maybe don't necessarily have those positive tests to back that up. You can find our continuing coverage on WKYC.com and our WKYC app. We'll also have more for you in the 5 p.m. What's New broadcast. I will see you there. You can also get more from us at 6 p.m. in What Matters Most, 7 p.m. on Front Row, and 11 p.m. in What's Next. I will see you at 5 on What's New, and I'll see you back here tomorrow on Thursday at 11 a.m. I'm Stephanie Haney.